Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to talk about iOS 18 and my top 15 wishlist items that I hope Apple will bring. Now, it's a new year in 2024, which means, of course, the new big firmware software update that will be released is iOS 18. So if you like videos like this that talks about software updates and their feature breakdowns, smartphone and tablet reviews, and their accessories, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that way you never miss my videos. That way we can sit back, relax, see what's cracking. Now, let's get into the video. And the first thing we're going to talk about, number one, is redesigned home pages. So what do I mean by that? Well, we know that on iOS, the format is stuck in portrait mode. It would be great for them to bring landscape mode to the phones. I think that brings another added layer of customization, having multiple formats, just like you can on the iPad, having a portrait layout setup and a landscape setup. Bringing that to the iPhone, that brings a little bit more versatility to the phones, including potential more use cases for the widgets. Leading me into that next point, bringing more interactivity to these widgets, bringing slightly smaller or slightly bigger widgets, such as longer portrait widgets. That would be nice to see. That way, with that weather app, maybe it could be a little longer, display a little bit more information, doesn't have to be so cramped as it is in this case right here. I would love to see something like that come with iOS 18 because it would be a nice change of pace, nice refreshing look for iOS 18. iOS 17 was actually pretty good for the iPhones, but iOS 18 is meant to be something special. And so why not start addressing the layout of the phone as well as the widgets. The next thing is live wallpapers. Now we know that Apple, if we come in here and go scroll down to wallpaper, we do know that there are like one or two live wallpapers, including using some form of a live photo. Let me see, where is it? Where is it at? Is it collection? I believe it is. Down this one here on the right is a live wallpaper to a degree. I don't know if it's actually live on a home page or just a lock screen, but it would definitely be nice if they brought live wallpapers to the iPhone so that way we have a little bit more customization, something fresh and different for the iPhone experience. That is something that we definitely need here on the iPhones. Bring potential theming as another layer of customization for the iPhones. We know and see that Apple stopped with the lock screen because we do know on the lock screen there's a little bit more customization here, pressing and holding, customize and being able to do different types of photo shuffles or wallpaper layouts, including changing your font and the widgets on the lock screen. Definitely a great step in the right direction, but it's now time to bring that stuff to the iPhones in general based off of their home pages, how they're laid out. We need subtle changes here. We need more changes here for the iOS 18 experience. And of course, we cannot leave this segment without talking about app placement freedom, meaning these apps can be placed anywhere, not automatically up at the top and they have to follow some format going from top to bottom. No. There's a very slight level of freedom on the iPad Pros, but we need that complete freedom to place apps where we want, to place widgets where we want, so that way we can now personalize our phones that much more. Something I think even iOS users have been begging for a while. We know that Android has had this. Please, Apple, now bring this to the iOS system in iOS 18. So that is wishlist item number one, redesign home pages, and it includes all of those features. Now, let's talk about redesign control center. I couldn't come up with too many differences here other than maybe swap these two by means of turning them horizontal instead of vertical. So now they go that way and that way, like this icon here. This icon, I don't know if we really need there, but I guess it is there. And then I guess you could say make this area more modular, meaning we can move all this stuff around, whether or not it's live in this screen here in the actual center, or we'd have to go to the settings. But I would like to actually have that personal touch, that customization feature accessible right from the menu to be able to organize and move, shuffle things around. I think that's a lot better than having to always go back to the control center settings. So bringing the modularity back for, or actually bringing it to the iPhones via iOS 18. The next feature is redesign notification center. So how would you do that? Well, instead of swiping up or swiping from down, oh my goodness, my words, swiping down from the left side, why not we now swipe up somewhere in the corner or even right around the home page layout down here? Swiping up there will bring the notification panels way more accessible to either hand, whether you're a right-handed user or a left-handed user, and you can swipe up to reach your notifications. Now, while addressing that, I left this here for a reason because I did shoot this short here right before this video. You know how you can press and hold and you get menu options? Bring more menu options for other apps like YouTube. One of the things that I miss from Android world is the notification. You can adjust or send videos straight to your watch later or a playlist or something straight from the notification panel. Please bring that kind of feature set here to the iPhones via iOS 18. I think that would be a very smart feature, and since I'm finished with that, I can mark as completed and it's gone. You could also argue if I click on this, oh, it's gone now. I have this in my scheduled summary. Scheduled summary really sucks up the entirety of the screen. Why not slim it down so that way it's in harmony with the other notifications? So that way they're still boxed into one location, but they don't look offset from the rest of the notifications. And I think that would be a very, very refreshing take. Maybe they don't all just come in from the bottom. I know I have mine set that way to be kind of bundled in at the bottom, but have them outlined here. Maybe give them a little bit slightly more transparent or translucent look. I think that would be nice as well. And not to harp back on redesigning anything, but in the if I hit customize, in the clock widget, allow us to customize this last clock as well. We can't. For whatever reason, we cannot. If I click on it, see, it's gone. It's just that. I would love for them to allow us to customize the lock screen clock. So, back on schedule, back on point. What are we talking about next? We are talking about redesigning the settings to look similar to the action button. So if we come into settings, this needs to change. This entire layout needs to change. Maybe we get bigger icons on the left. Maybe we get a little bit more centered font for the actual settings. Maybe they enlarge it a little bit. Maybe they also shrink and they start combining a lot of these into one big setting section to kind of clean up all this clutter, because otherwise you're just scrolling for days, right? Well, what if Apple was teasing us with the action button? So if we come down here, I don't know why my blur is acting a fool right now. We need to have settings that looks like this. Please have settings that looks like this. This would be amazing to have settings that look oddly similar to this layout. It adds new and wanted polish to our settings. And I think this is perfect for iOS 18. And along with actions, let's have more actions available within the action button screen, right? Have more actions available. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but what I can think of is, along with having more options available, allowing to have multi options accessible, meaning press for one, double press for two, right? So right now, since mine's on silent, if you press it once, it shows you what it is. Press and hold, it'll change it. You cannot double tap it though. We need to bring, well, you know what, let me put that on silent. We need to bring a double press. We need to bring press and hold. We need to bring a single press. That's three potential options right there that could be all accessible via this action button. You can use that new translate feature that has that beautiful aesthetic to it. You can use your silent mode alert slider feature still. And then you can also do something else that I don't know what else you want to do with it, but you have a third option available. Bring that to us via iOS 18. What do we have after that? We have redesigned the keyboard. So the keyboard. Well, okay, you know what? Perfect option right here. Now, you see, we got a basic keyboard, right? Bring that iPad style keyboard to the iPhones, meaning we not only can we swipe as we can currently can on the iPhone, which is not available on the iPad, but we can have multiple options behind each letter. So you know how like period or comma or exclamation mark or even a number row could be at the top, since it has that additional space up there. The number row could be part of the QWERTY top row, and then you can press and hold to select that. You can swipe down on it like you can on the iPads to actually access that specific icon or font, letter, symbol that you are looking for. You have that available with multiple swipes. And since iOS 18 is more or less bringing some form of AI, machine learning to the table to also dramatically boost Siri, I'm sure that it will know and be able to distinguish a swipe down from a typical swipe for a word, right? Maybe even a swipe up on it if you have multiple letters. Let's get a little bit more granular with the keyboard so that we can access everything instead of always having to hit this button to access all this. You still could, but now these are also visible on the main keyboard. And then this now becomes the first click of the 1, 2, 3 button, not 2 clicks in. So it eliminates clicks in that way, and it gives you more versatility while typing. It really adds to the typing experience, and I really, really hope that this will come to iOS 18. Now, to drop back real quick in the settings while we're here, because I just thought about it, all these app settings down here, move these to the actual app. We don't need to have a whole page that we always have to leave the app to come to actually make adjustments. Have these settings for each app available in the actual app. Not to mention Android again, but it's so much easier to make those customizations within the app instead of having to hop back and forth. So again, you're lessening the amount of movement that we really have to do. We understand you have clean animations. They're beautiful. They are beautiful, but we also don't want to have to constantly click around to reach things. Make that tweak and adjustment and move a lot more of those settings over to the actual app and eliminate the settings that we see down here. And that will definitely bring a new level of refreshment to iOS 18. iMessage. Yeah, why not this one? Is it Sonic? Background images. Make those available. The blue bubbles and our gray bubbles stand out fairly well. Maybe even adding a little bit more shadowiness to them to lift them from the background image. But why not add background images to our message threads to add again a level of customization, personability to our iPhone experience? iOS 18 could really be a game changer, bringing these subtle features to the iPhones this year. The Journal app, as you see, is right there. I use it. Why not bring more features to this? I know it's just dropped, but considering we had to wait for 2 updates before it actually also dropped, I was hoping it would drop with a little bit more, what's the word outside of freshness? A little bit more use cases, right? Or more options to journal about. But the reflections, you only get a few reflections a day. I wish they actually had a whole list of them. I'd show you, but it would show you my journal entries. So give me 1 second. So as you see here, this is what the actual page looks like, right? Why not add a cover page? So that way when you actually click on the journal app, there's an actual front splash that you could just simply swipe on and give us a nice little cool animation to then access the journal instead of your entries just being right there completely exposed. I think that's also a good idea. Now, if I hit the new entry, so suggestions definitely need to improve in the journal app. If I click recent also needs to definitely improve because it really doesn't, I mean, it seems like there's only so much it wants to, suggest. But if I hit new entry, I think what they should do is add more that it can actually pull from. So with the machine learning and all that, the activities you've done on your phone, whether or not you watch YouTube, whether or not you were watching some stuff on Netflix or Hulu or whatever the case may be, you were in the reminders app, you were in the notes app, stuff like that you should be able to see and call back to and add more than just, like, I think up to 4 features. You should be able to add like way more than that, because they should just be more snapshots than like the actual piece that the actual, like, for example, if I created some videos and I uploaded them into here via like the camera button or the actual photos button, it would only allow me 4. Instead of dropping those actual videos in here, just do like a snapshot of it, so that way I can add way more stuff that I did for the day and have like a very thorough journal entry. I think that would be great for the journal app. So a journal cover page, right, that you can swipe across and it opens up, right, to reveal your journal entries, and then more options, more things to journal about. I think that will definitely expand the use cases for the journal app in general. Split view for iPhones. How do we not still have that in 2024? Like, split view, meaning we have an app up here and an app down here, splitting the screen. You can have 2 apps running at once, but you can also have those apps running in landscape mode, app right here, and phone app right here. That is something that we definitely could use for the iPhones. I think that would be perfect for the iPhones because of the amount of use cases that a lot of people use their iPhones for. Like for me, if I'm doing SEO search, keyword search, title searches for my videos, I can have YouTube Studio up or down, and I can have Google, YouTube, on my own, thinking process in notes or something up at the top. I have 2 apps that I'm pulling from, getting that information and jotting it down a whole lot faster. That makes so much more sense than how we currently have it set up. And that allows for multitasking to really become mainstream for the iPhones. And those windows are resizable, right? Not just how they are, just having apps automatically set to one size, but you can resize those apps. We need to see that with these powerful 8 chips that Apple's been making. Start showing that power by bringing split view to the iPhones via iOS 18. AirPods Pro or the AirPods in general, they need to either have a software update button. So I don't have my AirPods on me, they're in my other room. But you know how when they pop up, they get a little additional settings screen right here. You click on, then you have to play in it. Why not just take it from out of there and bundle it in its own app, similar to the Watch app? The Watch app is separate from the settings. Now there might be some settings in here for the Watch app. No Watch app settings. They have their own app. We need to see that for the AirPods. Or maybe even make adjustments on the fly via the control center that will hopefully move from the top right corner to the bottom right corner, or just the bottom in general. One of the things that I really don't have use for, I haven't really seen too many people use it like that either, is this side page here. I don't know what this is called, but for the iPhones, we could just outright eliminate this, because unless this is like more of like an add a view thing, it just feels kind of extra at this point, considering the amount of features that we now have for the home pages in general. And the iPhone, we don't even need that side panel anymore. We don't need the side panel anymore. I think we should just eliminate it, which frees up more resources to add these other features that we're talking about. More control for media alerts and your media volume and your alerts volume. Now, to some degree, no, not really. If you come into sound and haptics, it's really just like one bar that controls everything. And again, not to mention Android and specifically Samsung. Samsung has a whole sound assistance app that really helps distinguish between your media volume, your alert volume, your ringer volume. Like, there's like 3 or 4 different things you can control with that sound assistance app on Samsung. Apple, learn a thing or two. Bring that to the iPhone, so that way when clicking this controls one or the other, or it brings up 2 sliders, and then you can just click on each slider to adjust the sound, whether it's for your media or for your ringer slash alerts volume. Live settings icon. Let's bring that back. We need, I think, at least I thought I saw it at one point on iPhone, but that settings icon, let it start rotating in 1 or 2 directions. Bring a little flair back to the iPhones with iOS 18. We need this. Squash more bugs and bring less bugs. So there's a lot of bugs taking place. Sometimes if the screen's off and I try to swipe up, you see there was a slight hesitancy there. That happens, and sometimes nothing happens. Like I'm swiping up, and it's not responding sometimes. I get that bug. I hear a lot of people talk about the notification bug in the notification panel. So if I drag down, so it didn't really happen for me. Mine actually kind of works, but eliminate that bug. Get rid of that bug. They've been bringing a lot more bugs. So with iOS 18, it would be nice to have a very sleek, clean release that squashed a ton of bugs, and there's barely any bugs, if any, on that initial release. Let's come with something super clean and ready to go in 2024. And last but not least, it kind of relates to most of the things I've been sharing, but just more customization. Just more customization in general. I like that feature they have in Message, the check-in feature. I think that's a level of customization, and I'm sure people really appreciate. There's certain people out there that certainly appreciate that feature being added. So it's like those little small things that you don't really think about or take note of. Bring those. Keep doing that, Apple. Keep doing that, and you will continue to keep your Apple sheep iPhone users happy. So those are my top 15 wish list items, which almost probably sounds like more, right? But it's really more, reasonings and explanations of what each feature is. So top 15, let me know down in the comment section below. What are some of the features that you hope to see change or be brought to iOS 18? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, if you haven't already, make sure to ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that way you know my videos. So that way you and I can sit back, relax, see what's cracking. It's your man Micah signing out. Till the next video. Wait for it.